Welcome to Good News with Carol Hughes. How are you, Carol?
I'm very well, thank you. It's good to see you today. And the weather is gorgeous here in Napa.
Napa, we are in the fountain of Clark Gable.
Yes, Clark Gable and his wife Carol Lombard stayed here when she made a film in Calistoga that was called They Knew What They Wanted. And it's a hard film to get your hands on, but I'm trying to get it for our local library. So I'm still at it. And
What do you remember about Clark Gable? What is your favorite movie?
he was an excellent actor. He, of course,
God of the Wind?
Gone with the Wind was his most memorable. That was an incredible film.
Why you like this movie? Why you?
Everything about it I liked because I studied a lot of history, and the Civil War was definitely one of my favorite subjects. I lost a great, great, great grandfather in the Civil War, and his wife. It was hard to get information across the country in those early days, and so she just knew that he was coming, but she didn't know that he had died. And when she arrived at the train, they brought his body out. So it was a terrible shock to the poor lady. And I have pictures of him and of her and their children and their children's children. I have a huge repertoire of pictures up in my upstairs on a long table, and it has.
Tell me about you. Tell me about your story, your life.
Oh, my life. I was raised from childhood in a small community called Benawa in Lake Tahoe, or no, uh, Idaho, northern Idaho.
Beautiful place.
Oh, yes, it is. It's up in the panhandle, very close to Canada. And I, uh, I was raised there, and then I married and moved to Lake Tahoe, and it was a very beautiful spot. And
You was working in Waldorf.
oh, I helped at Waldorf, yes, but that was much later. This is the early days there. I had a natural foods bakery, cafe, and catering service, and the Good Earth restaurant purchased my bread and all my recipes, and that was pretty exciting in itself. And then the young people were coming out of the Haight Ashbury and trying to get clean, and I did counseling with them, and it was um, it was hard work, but it was well worth it. And then one day, this young girl OD'd on the phone with me, and at that time, I knew that I had to do something about it. And I worked with
You was working in a hotel too, right? Lake Tahoe.
I, w- I was working with Bill Newsom, Gavin Newsom, our governor's father. Gavin was a small child and came into my shop there in Tahoe City. And his father and I started a drug crisis center at that time. And then when I moved there, it was right after the Olympics. And I was just shocked to discover that if your child wasn't a jock, he wasn't anyone, or she. So I started work to get uh, plays. I founded Shakespeare on the Lake, and I had art shows on the lake, and it was just it just kept me busy, busy, busy all the time. So I uh, I worked hard, but it was well worth it what I accomplished. I just wish I could have done more for more of them.
Tell me why the people need to come to Napa Valley.
To Napa Valley.
Why Napa Valley?
Oh, Napa. It's so well known for its wine, which is wonderful, and the sparkling is killer. And we're just so fortunate in that area. However, we have a great deal of art here too. We have art shows, and I have painted a lot and sketched a lot during the years. Uh, but I now am writing my memoir uh, as I'm 92 now and going to be 93. So
In November, right?
yes, November 21st, and
93 years old.
I'm writing my memoir from childhood, and I remember so well. Each memory brings up another, and I remember saying to my mother, I whispered to her one day, "Mommy, is Santa Claus real?" And she made a little sound look and glanced at my little sister, and I nodded. Then my mother said, "Yes, dear, Santa is real." And I was so thrilled. And she said, "He lives within our hearts. Santa is the spirit of giving." And I have never forgotten that, and I have told every child that ever asked me about it. And I have raised a lot of children. I had one son, and I raised many other children who had problems at their homes or whatever. And I loved them all. They were so precious.
Wow. What is the secret? What is the secret to be in good shape?
Well, I walk every day. I'm Irish, have a good sense of humor. Um, I help people as often as I can, and that always makes me feel better.
The humor is important too, right?
Pardon?
The humor, to have humor.
Oh, yes. Sense of humor is extremely important to good health. I don't worry. You worry, you're just wasting your time. And you fuss about it, and you waste others' time. So don't bother with it. It's nothing but a nuisance to the whole planet. Just get in, do what you can do, try to help in any area that you can, and life goes on.
Do you remember any song, Irish song?
When Irish eyes are smiling, sure 'tis like a morning spring. In the lilt of Irish laughter, ye can hear the angels sing. When Irish hearts are happy, All the world is bright and gay, but when Irish eyes are smiling, sure they steal your heart away.
Thank you, Carol Hughes.